Hi everyone and welcome back to AFTV. We are outside the Emirates for the predicted 11 for the game against West Ham this weekend. I'm joined by my boy Jack to my right. How you doing, Jack?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Also Kenya to my left.
Lao squared.
Yes, guys, everyone in good hearts following the win
happy.
against Olympiacos yesterday in the Champions League.
Happy.
Yeah, and so we look forward to the game against West Ham this weekend. Right, so let's get straight to it. In goal.
Yeah. Do we even have to talk about this?
Think it
David
speaks
Raya,
for itself.
absolutely.
David Raya. Now, I've been saying for some time, I'm going to blow my own trumpet a little bit on this one. I've been saying for a while that for me is the number one keeper in the Premiership. That's my thoughts. What do you guys think, Jack?
Do you know, I have Alisson in like a tier of his own, and then I have Raya at like the top of the tier below. But every week you walk away and he's done something. Like you look, last night he claws one out the top corner against Olympiacos. Nottingham Forest, that Chris Wood one where it hits his head and goes in the top corner and it tips it over. Even last year, like that Villa save, the double pen save at Atalanta, like his save reel, like his highlight reel was crazy. Like I still have Alisson in a league of his own in the Prem, but like, he's pushing him close every time.
Yeah. Look, I personally think we're talking about the most consistent keeper in the league, back-to-back Golden Gloves, and the way he's moving right now, he could be going for a three-peat. Like, not even joking. Wow. That's how good he is. Like as Jack said, we saw last night that incredible save to keep us in the game. Like he is the fine margins in games. To me, he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, undoubtedly.
Is he the best of the Emirates era for you?
Wow, man.
I mean, we had a very old Jens at one point.
Yeah,
but
we had probably, man. If he goes on to win the league, goes on to win the champs, it's undoubtedly like I think as well. He came in at a time where a lot of us were like, why are we even getting this guy? Ramsdale's good, but you see already he's just miles clear, and I'm just happy that he's a goalkeeper. But for me, he's definitely starting. It's a non-negotiable.
It's definitely, it's very important that you have a really good goalkeeper if you're going to win things, and for me, Raya is outstanding.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move to right back. Now, we saw Ben White against Olympiacos. A lot of people said he didn't have his best game, but we know he's a quality player. We also have got Jurriën Timber, who for me, another outstanding Arsenal player. Let's start with Kenya for this one.
Yeah,
right back.
To me, Jurriën Timber's got to come back in. We're talking about, again, someone who goes under the radar, but I generally think is top 5 right backs in the world. Like,
I'm going higher than that.
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm going 3.
Like, yeah, he might even be top 3 because we're saying someone that in every game is consistent, at least a 7 out of 10. I think even last night when he came on, I really loved his cameo. The way he's looked, the things he's adding to his game, he's adding going forward to his game as well. He scored 2 goals, he's got an assist. We need to start having conversations about this guy. Seriously.
No, 100%, Jack.
Yeah, I agree, but I do want to have like a little word on Ben White. I feel sorry for him because we speak now about how we've got so much depth. So if someone's injured, we haven't got to play them through injury. If someone's struggling with form, we haven't got to play them. But he's sort of been the one player that for the past 2 years has had to play through injury because Timber did his ACL, not his fault. Tomiasu's been sort of away for so long, again, not his fault. So White's that player who's had to play through injuries, run himself into the ground, and maybe he's now feeling the effects of that, and unfortunately he now can't benefit from the fact that we've got that depth. So I feel sorry for him. We'll get back to his best, but
yeah, I agree. I think one thing I've noticed about him when I've seen him recently is he's not appearing to have the same level of confidence that he used to play. Remember a few seasons back when he was at his heights for us?
Yeah.
He was coming forward with a ball. He had that certain energy and swag and aura about him. I'm not quite seeing that at the moment, but listen, he will more game
go
time.
back into it, yeah.
He will get there.
I think his cameo against Olympiacos, I was actually quite happy with it. To be honest, he looked a bit tired, but we're talking about someone that's just come back, and that's his first really physical game against a really good opponent. If we're taking out Port Vale, which, no offence, they're League One side, we're talking about Champions League quality, a team that's top of their league. I think he did a really good cameo, and I'm just excited to see. Hopefully, he can build on that and get more game time.
Yeah, just get some confidence back and that arrogance as well. You know, like what Robertson was like for Liverpool. Like Ben White had that where he just knocked the ball, he'd shove someone. Like you could tell he had that confidence in himself, and he's lacking that, but it'll come back. I don't want to use the word and swear, but he's a bit of a house, a bit of housery.
He's a bit of a housery.
Yeah, he loves a bit of that. Right, okay, let's move to the central pairing now, which has been a crucial part of Arsenal's defence. Let's start with the right-sided centre-back, Jack.
Yeah, Saliba for me. Again, Mosquera's been more than good when he's come on. I think he actually had really well against Newcastle, was unlucky. Kind of wanted to see him play against Olympiacos, get a bit of confidence back, because he obviously played well, made one mistake, got dragged at half-time. But I mean, look, we're going to get on to West Ham and set pieces, so give me.
Yeah.
I don't care who's at the back as long as they can score a header.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I agree. William Saliba is, we're talking again, another person, one of the best centre-backs in the world. You can't have him on the bench. He's just signed a brand new contract as well. He says he wants to win stuff with us. This is a perfect, this is a tricky game in itself.
Are you encouraged by those comments he made when
absolutely.
he said that he doesn't want to leave the club until he's won a major trophy?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know what, he could have left. We've seen some other clubs like Liverpool where they've lost Trent. They're in desperation to keep Konate, who's, kind of flirting with Real Madrid. He would kind of be within his right to go to Real Madrid, if we're being honest, but he's decided to stay. And his comments of him wanting to, win stuff and be a legend here, he's got a connection to the club. I'm so happy. He's super loved by everybody here. And I just hope that he can fulfill his dream. Simple.
Yeah, agreed with everything you guys said so far. Keep it on. Right, so left-sided centre-back, I think, let's be honest, there's only one man. There can only be one. As Nkapie, unfortunately, is...
I thought you was going to say Nkapie.
No, what I was going to say was Nkapie, from what we're hearing, is injured. Right?
Yeah, he's targeting a return for October, I think.
Oh, really? Oh, good. Because I've yet to see him.
Yeah.
But listen, man, Gabriel had an eventful game against Newcastle, I think it's fair to say, but...
Yeah, but again, man.
Kenya,
clutch.
Gabriel.
Guys, what else can I say about this guy? He's one of the best. Nobody else does what Gabriel does. He's aggressive. He scores goals. He prevents goals. I love him. He has to play. And as well, Jack's talking about West Ham, who are so poor on corners.
Set pieces.
Yo, man, you saw that massive set piece he scored against Newcastle to win us that game. The way he just jumped up and just bring me, Gabby, man.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
Has he scored in the last 2 away games at West Ham? Well, obviously we're at home now.
Yeah,
but
he has.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure one of them. Wasn't he on for a hat-trick?
I think the last time we played him, he scored a front post flick. The last time he scored a back post once. Just dunk on him.
My
set
goat.
pieces.
My
Gabriel's
goat.
got to start.
Yeah.
It's a pretty eventful game for him, like I said. He does need to be a little bit careful because that little clash he had with Walter Meyer there, he could have gone for that. So he does need to sometimes...
That's a little
Ken just gone and bought his shirt.
Yeah, man, just bought the shirt. Big up Gabby, man. You know what I mean? The Baltimore, that's an idiot thing.
Yeah, he's fast becoming
Prem's
a legend
getting
at the club. Right.
Prem's
Okay,
soft,
so moving on then to... Now, this one could be a little trickier.
Yeah.
Left back. Now, Calafiori has held that berth for most of the Premier League games and he's done well.
Yeah.
But Miles Lewis-Skelly, I thought his last couple of appearances for Arsenal, he's looked pretty good. And there is real competition, in my view, for that place. Let's go with Jack. Left back.
I'm sticking with Calafiori.
Okay.
I mean, it'll make more sense when we get further forward in the team and we talk about front lines, but I think what he brings to the team, the bombing up and down, staying high and wide, getting crosses into the box, is maybe going to facilitate a little bit more of what I want going forwards in this game. And also, again, I've said it on, I think, the last predicted 11, I feel a little bit sorry for Lewis-Skelly because he's so good at coming into midfield, but Arteta seems to want his fullbacks sort of bombing up and down, getting wide, whipping crosses in, and he's learning that trade as he goes, so maybe that's why he's not getting as many minutes. But I mean, his cross against Olympiacos last night, Martinelli sort of shoulders into the stands. But
yeah.
Kenya?
See, I'm gonna have to disagree.
Gonna disagree.
I love Calafiori, but I do think in the last 2 games, it's not really been. He's played okay, but there's been moments where I'm like, need you to do better, need you to do better. I think Newcastle, I was getting really frustrated with watching him, and I kind of saw a bit of that against Man City. And as you said, I think Miles has been a bit hard done by. I think last night, he won almost every duel, I think, if not every. He's so good, he inverts into midfield, but also he's a fantastic defender as well. We're talking about, we're going to be facing Jared Bowen and Somerville, both players who, if you watch that Everton game, Jared Bowen scored and Somerville was a nuisance in that game. And I think as well, Miles can bring so much going forward as well. So I do actually want to see Miles in, and I think you have to reward players as well for when they play well. We can't just say you've played fantastic in the Champions League, but you're just going to hold the bench because Calafiori's kind of started well, and although he's maybe dropped off in the last 2 games, we're just going to be consistent. I would actually like to see Miles, but I wouldn't be opposed if we had Calafiori.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not going to cry.
Feeling either way. Yeah.
You know what? I kind of like what you said, Kenya. I would lean towards, if it's down to myself,
family bias.
Maybe. But no, I think what Kenya said makes a lot of sense, and I think Miles Lewis-Skelly has looked really good in his last couple of games. I think the last couple of games for Calafiori, he's dropped off slightly.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting because Mars Lewis-Skelly, of course, got sent off in the corresponding fixture last season. So you know. Who offers a bigger goal threat between the two? Because Calafiore, he's had a lot of shots on goal.
Yeah.
He will shoot from outside the box, which is something that Mars doesn't tend to do. So it's an interesting one.
Yeah, I do think Calafiore is more of a goal threat if we're talking about someone who would just shoot at goal. But I also think what Miles, like his progressive like passes, the way he carries the ball, he's also so press resistant. Like the way he just like, sometimes you're like, how did you even get past this guy? Yeah. The way he can win a foul as well is really good. I do think Calafiore in the last 2 games has picked up very silly yellows as well. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm not opposed to either.
Yeah,
but
I'm with that.
Yeah.
I
mean, maybe you start with Miles and then you bring on the better defensive fullback in Calafiore towards the end. You change it up. So
I'm okay with either one, but if I was forced to choose, I'd probably lean towards Miles Lewis-Skelly. But then again, I do happen to think that the manager will go with Calafiore.
Yeah, same.
Right. Okay. Moving into midfield now. The midfield has been an area where a lot of people have had a lot to say. There's different permutations. Arsenal very blessed in the midfield area. Let's start with the number 6. I'm assuming they're going to go 4-3-3. We always do at home. At the base of that triangle, Jack.
Zubimendi.
Yep, Zubi.
I don't.
What do you say to those people who said that Zubimendi has not had his best games in the last couple of games?
I agree that it wasn't great last night or Olympiacos. So I think there was a few loose passes, which is uncharacteristic for him. I think there was one where he just sort of kicked it straight out of play. It looked a little bit off it, but he also wasn't with Rice for a lot of that game. I think maybe that's where you get the best out of him. So I think he's been good. I mean, look, you're going to Old Trafford, Anfield, City at home in your first 6 games in the Premier League. Like, I'm not expecting him to come and play like Pirlo for the first few games, but he's getting there.
Yep. Kenya?
Yeah, no, I agree with everything Jack said. I'd play Zubimendi, and I completely disagree. I think he's played very well for someone who's never played in the Prem. He's come in, he's looked very good. He scored twice as well, like we're forgetting about that. And as well, he's showing going forward, he actually has a lot. We're seeing him cross the ball like in very attacking areas. I'm happy with him. So yeah, he's got to start at 6.
No love for Ødegaard, no?
Look, I like Ødegaard, but the reality is Ødegaard is bought as a backup.
Right.
He's not bought to be a starter. And as well, we're talking about someone who's only played 1 game, which was Port Vale. Again, like, is he up to the speed of a Premier League game yet? We're not 100% sure. Is it wise to start him against West Ham? You've also got to protect your players as well. You don't want to just throw them in a deep end. And we've got Declan Rice and Zubimendi who can play 6 and have played loads of Premier League games already so far. So if it wasn't to be Zubimendi, then I'd see Rice. But this is no hate to Ødegaard. It's just his time will come, innit?
Fair enough. Number 8. Now, some people would say that that's a no-brainer previous years. However, some people are, talking about Marino in there or Ødegaard in there or switching things around. Jack, what do you reckon?
I mean, I want to see Declan Rice, but I've heard some people saying, we're taking the handbrake off. Let's press nitrous now. Let's go with Eze and Ødegaard. Let's rip the handbrake off. But I mean, I still want to see Rice do the Zubimendi Rice pivot, and then we'll see who the other one is. But
and of course, Rice playing against his own club.
And I think probably the poorest I've ever seen him play for Arsenal. Not that he drops many poor games. It's been West Ham at home. He seems to, for some reason, struggle against them. So this would be a nice game for him to come in and put in a big performance and banish them demons.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to see Declan in there, and yeah, it's a no-brainer. He's got this, like Jack said, he's got this West Ham like cursing at home. I'd love for him to break that because away from home he's perfectly fine. So, but yeah, definitely for me, I want to see Rice in there.
I would agree with that, Declan for me. Now this is where it could get really interesting. The number 10 position. Now, there's been a lot of debate. We're blessed in this area again. Now, the main source of the debate appears to be whether we go with Ødegaard in the 10 or Eze in the 10. I've got my views on it, but I'll be very interested to hear what these guys say. Let's start with Kenya.
See, it's really hard because I do think, as I said earlier, you have to reward your players when they play well, but they've both played very well. I think Eze played so well against Newcastle and he was so unlucky not to score. But then I also think Ødegaard against Olympiacos was brilliant.
He was.
It was like seeing Ødegaard of old, honestly. He was unlucky not to score in that as well. It's so hard.
And he had a really good cameo against Newcastle.
Yeah, he got the assist for Saka's goal,
he got the assist for Saka's goal. It's so hard to choose, honestly.
And he is the club captain.
Yeah. Are we also, what about Ethan?
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're talking about
what about down?
Yeah, as Yardman would say.
What I mean?
It's really hard to choose. I actually, I actually think he'll go Ødegaard, to be honest.
What would you go? See, this is where it gets really interesting.
It's really hard, actually. I can't choose. Do you know what? I'm going to put Ødegaard there.
Okay.
I'll pick Ødegaard.
I'm okay with that. Jack?
Yeah, I'm putting Ødegaard in there as well. Really good off the bench at Newcastle. Played that really nice reverse pass for Lewis Skelly. It was his corner that Gabriel scored from. Man of the match against Olympiacos. When he looks like he's getting back to his best, play him through that form and hopefully he stays that way. But there's still a way of getting Eze in this team, not to...
Yeah.
No, I would agree with that. Number 10, listen, I'm a big Eze fan. Anybody that's heard me on these channels will know that I'm always singing his praises. So I'm maybe a little bit biased. But it's great to see Ødegaard back in form, and that is his best position. I think he has the edge over Eze in terms of leading the press. But that being said, though, against West Ham, I think Arsenal are going to see a lot of the ball. And if you've got a guy like Eze in the 10, I would argue that he's a bit more creative than Martin Ødegaard. So
that's fair.
If I was picking the team, I might lean towards Eze, but the manager, I believe, is going to go with Ødegaard, and I've got absolutely no problem with that, because it's great to see him back in form.
You've got to trust. Got to trust your depth as well. Yeah. Like, is there any need to really rush Ødegaard in, who's just come back from injury? That's his first 90 against Olympiacos. You now have Eze, you now have Ethan. So maybe you can just give him time, acclimatise him, maybe bring him off the bench, as you said. Yeah,
that's what we were saying a bit on the watch along yesterday. In the last couple of seasons, he's been under pressure that when he comes back from injury, it's like, right, you need to go in the first team and you need to deliver, or he's now has that. You can come on, you can try and play really well. If you can be the hero, then great. But we're not relying on you. It's not throw you back in. We need something. It's we've got Eze now, so take your time. So again, I wouldn't mind it either way. But
it's great that we've got all these plausible options that we're talking about. Right, moving further up the pitch. Again, very interesting. Right hand side. Listen, Noni is out. Get well soon. But I think it's a no-brainer that Saka starts on the right hand side, or is it?
I think it's a no-brainer, but I want to have a discussion about him on the left. He came on the left yesterday. They swapped over, didn't they? He scored, he played well.
Against Man City as well.
When he first broke through at Arsenal, he played a lot on that left-hand side and played well. And a lot of people are complaining about the fact that Gyökeres isn't getting a delivery. How about having a left-footed left winger who can whip that across? I mean, I don't think it's what we'll do, but do you think there's a role for that going forward in certain games?
I'm open to it. You know what I mean? I think you made a very good suggestion. And like you said, it worked well yesterday.
Yeah.
But whether the manager will go with it, I'm not so sure. But
But I think for this game, no-brainer on the right. But just for some, especially when you've got Noni, who sometimes he looks a bit awkward on that left, just with the way he plays, the way he dribbles. Maybe there'll be games where he starts on the right and Saka can play on the left. And, we're blessed that we have the options that we can say our best player can go play left if he wants to. So,
are you with that?
Yeah, I agree with Jack.
Saka starts?
Saka absolutely starts. Like, it's a non-negotiable. Your best player has to play in the biggest games, and this is a massive game. You pick up 3 points here. You now put pressure back on our title rivals as well, and you don't want to drop points again to West Ham, but also these are the teams that we struggled to beat last season. You want to go in with your best 11.
All guns blazing.
Yeah, all guns blazing.
He's going to go off with England as well. You would assume the week after, and you know what they're like. They'll use him for 290 minutes or whatever it is. So. Might as well use him.
Exactly.
100%. Right, left side of that attack. Now, again, this could be very interesting.
Yeah.
The manager does have options. Jack spoke earlier about if you're not going to get Eze in midfield, we've got to usher him in the team. Would he go on the left? I don't know. What do you guys... Let's start with Kenny. What do you think? I mean, the available options.
Trossard, Martinelli.
Eze, Trossard and Martinelli.
I'm going to be honest with you now, I do not want to see Trossard left wing. I'm just tired and knackered of seeing it. I don't want to see him start on the left wing, let me say that. Because in the last 2 games or 3 games where he started on the left, I've just not enjoyed it. For me, I would start Eze. I think Eze warrants a start. You have to get that guy into the team. And again, I feel like, as you said, we're going to have a lot of the ball. I think his trickery as well, he kind of drops centrally as well at times, like he fully roams around. He would be so important to the team. And I think bringing Martinelli off the bench would be a better option for him. Like I was saying to you earlier, how Martinelli spoke after the game about not really being worried about not starting games because he knows what competition is like, even for the national team. He knows saying, I'm not going to start over Vinicius or Rodrigo or Rafinha, but at least I'm playing with these players, and when I've got my opportunity, I'm going to make the most of it. So, yeah, I really want to see Eze play, 100%.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Jack, agree?
Yeah, I'm the same with that, and that's why when we go back to our left-back choices, I wanted Calafiori because at least he'll bomb around the outside and then Eze can tuck into midfield. I think if you put Miles there, he'll sort of go in the same areas. So at least maybe Calafiori unlocks Eze on the left better than a Lewis Skelly would. But and I think it's not, like Kenya said, it's not an insult to Martinelli and Trossard to be, what does Arteta call them? The finishers. Now people laugh at it. It got a bit of, like, in the media, you know what they're like.
I actually thought that made sense when he said that. Because if you look at the stats, that is what they've been.
It's a very specific skill. It's a compliment to say that you can come off the bench and change the game. You know, Reece Nelson did it for us a few years ago, where when he starts, he's not quite at the pace of the game, but off the bench, there's not many players you'd rather have. And if we win a title because Martinelli comes off the bench 10 times and gets a couple of winners, then so be it. That's as important of a part played than the people that started the game.
And football is a squad game. It's not just about the 11 players on the pitch. If the manager rotates a team and makes substitutions, there's a good chance they're going to win the game. So I'm with that. And I would go with Eze with one important caveat. I would say if Eze does play there, which I believe he will, because I think Ødegaard will get the 10 berth, I hope it's not one of them where the manager's got him stuck out on hugging the touchline. We want to see him in what I call a creative left-sided forward. So he's on the left-hand side of the pitch, but he's getting a bit more license to roam, pick up the ball, and
Arsenal
sometimes
heritage.
they can switch around. You know what I mean?
Arsenal heritage. We love wing fielders. We love our Nasris and our Hlebs and our Rosicskis. These sort of half wingers, half tens in that little in-between space. That's the Arsenal heritage all the way back to the old school players. Even your Perez's.
Exactly. There you go.
I'm coming inside and playing sort of in that 10 pocket.
Yeah. Right, that leaves one position left, and I would say this is pretty much a no-brainer.
Mikel Merino.
What? Just grab his mic, man. You know what I mean? Just grab his mic.
Now, I assume when I say no-brainer, we're talking about Gyökeres. Now,
Victor G.
I'm an advocate of Gyökeres. I was a strong advocate for him to come in. I remember myself and Jack going back and forth who would get Gyökeres or Sesko, and I was very firmly on the Gyökeres train. That being said, he needs a goal, right? I mean, not scored for a while now. It's 5 games.
Yeah, I think last night, I think against Olympiacos, he was unlucky because he did excellent to beat those 2 defenders. The goalkeeper gets a small little deflection kind of on it, hits the post, and then Martinelli basically just taps it in. That is the definition of a tap-in.
I love how he tried to let it trickle down the line as well.
Martinelli was like, I don't want to.
He almost reluctantly put it in.
He reluctantly, scored the goal. But I agree, he definitely needs a goal. He's, again, unlucky against Newcastle as well.
I think incrementally he's been getting better with each game. And this kind of goes back to an argument that me and your dad had when we were going back and forth. I was saying that I wanted to see him start against Port Vale, because my rationale for that is that with Gyökeres, a different style of play, both for him and for us. We've got to get used to him, he's got to get used to us. He needs more games, and you can see incrementally
he's getting better.
His hold-up play and his positional play is getting better each time. However, that being said, he's a striker. And strikers, more than any other people on the pitch, their judgment or how they judge is very binary. It's all about goals. So if you've gone 5 games without a goal, people start asking questions,
Yeah, especially when I actually think his best 2 games for us have been the last 2, even though he's not scored. Like, I would say over the course of 90 minutes, he was better against Newcastle than he was against Leeds, even though he scored 2 against Leeds, if that makes sense. Like, at least he's dropping deep and he's flicking the ball around the corner. He's not losing these duels. I think it was like United didn't have a shot, Liverpool didn't have a shot. At least he's involved in the game, even if he's not scoring. And it's been a few without a goal, but it will come. The floodgates will open. And
I think so. I think so. And just quickly, we got some star power on the bench. I'm hoping that we see the likes of Wanyeri especially, Merino, and like I said, even Ødegaard if things are going our way.
You're the champion for Ødegaard,
don't you? Yeah, because you know what, I do think
Ødegaard midfield, the Scandinavians.
No, you know what, I mean, I'd like to have seen him play more minutes, because I do think the guy is like built for the Premier League. He's a big, strong guy. He gets up and down the pitch well. I mean, he was captain of Brentford. He can get you a goal as well.
He
got 5 Premier League goals last season.
Pre-season for us.
And I don't think we've seen enough of him, so that's why I keep teasing his name out there.
I think there's a time to, like, when we play, I think, Brighton in the cup, we'll probably see Ødegaard then.
I think so.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's only just come back. He himself probably needs to get up to speed. He'll probably come off the bench. But do you want me to say I want Ødegaard to start over Zubimendi and Rice?
Not necessarily, but I would like to see him. I would like to see him get some minutes. I'd like to see a bit more of him, and I'd love to Listen, I need to see more of Nwaneri, man.
I agree.
Come on now.
Yeah, we're saying that's 2 games now that Ødegaard's come off injured and Nwaneri's come on in the first half, played really well in that midfield role. But look, it's unfortunate. It's been made pretty clear over the summer that Arsenal see him as a midfielder. He sees himself as a midfielder. So if you're not going to play those right wing minutes when Saka comes off and you want those midfield minutes, it's going to be tough when you've got Ødegaard there and you've got Eze there. But we've got to remember he's like, what, 18, 19?
Yeah, 18,
like, it's not like this
18.
kid, it's not like he's 22 and we're sitting here being like, oh, you know, we're wasting Nwaneri's talent. Look, he's getting older and older and he's not getting the minutes. Like, he's so young.
Yeah.
I mean, when did Phil Foden start getting consistent minutes for City? He did like 4 seasons when people were complaining about killing his career. So
I think the one thing we can all agree on as Arsenal fans is that we're blessed for talent. It's not just the starting 11. I personally think we've got the strongest squad in the whole of the Premier League. I know some people might say Liverpool. I hear that, but I personally think the squad strength goes.
I'd agree with you.
I'd actually agree with you, because in every area, like, you could say Liverpool in attacking areas are brilliant, but their defensive area is really weak.
There you go.
Same with Man City as well. Brilliant. We're brilliant. You've got one of the best strikers, but the reality is they don't have, you know, they've gotten rid of Akanji and they don't really have the depth in defence. You know, they're having to call up Nico O'Reilly, who's a kid. He's almost like their Miles Lewis-Kelly, who they've had to call up because they're so riddled with injuries.
Right.
So I would say all around we're very blessed.
And we still have Rico Lewis and Matheus Nunes as their 2 right backs. Like, they're not even right backs.
Yeah, exactly. And you think about it, we still have Hinsapi, we still have Jesus, Havertz, who else? Noni Madueke to come back. Max Dowman's just breaking through. Like, we still have people to come back, and we've got injuries ourselves. So
there you have it. That's our team, people. But just very quickly, predictions for the game on Saturday. Let's start with Kenya.
I'm going to say 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
Jack.
3-0. Gabriel and Saliba both going to score. So.
Who you got scoring?
Yeah, give me a big Gabby. Give me big Gabby brace, man. I've got it.
I went 2-0. I got the big Yok. I think he's going to get one. It's about time. He's there or thereabouts. I think on Saturday he nails it. Eze for the next one.
Okay.
So 2-0 Arsenal. But listen, guys, thanks for watching. That's our starting 11. Can't wait for the game. Thanks to Kenya and to Jack. Thanks, guys, for watching. We are out. Catch you on the next one.
Peace.